Have you ever caught yourself walking with your head down, arms stiff like a board, and a nagging sense of fear that a tumble could happen at any moment? What if I told you that this very walking habit, something you might not even realize you're doing, could be putting you at serious risk of falling, even though you're just trying to be careful? In today's video, we're going to reveal the hidden flaws in the way you walk that could be silently sabotaging your safety and balance. By the end of this video, you'll discover simple yet powerful techniques to help you walk with newfound confidence, prevent those terrifying falls, and regain your precious independence. We're not talking about complicated exercises or expensive equipment, just a few mindful adjustments in how you move. You'll learn how to align your body, strengthen key muscles you didn't even know you had, and walk in a way that dramatically reduces your risk of falling, no matter your age. You'll also hear real, heartwarming stories, like that of Mrs. Eleanor Rodriguez, a 77-year-old woman who completely transformed her life by learning how to walk safely after a nasty fall left her fearful and dependent. Imagine walking with absolutely no fear, standing tall and proud, and enjoying your daily activities without a single hesitation. This video will show you exactly how to identify if your current walking habits are secretly putting you in danger and what you can do to fix them, right now. The best part? It's simple, it's absolutely achievable, and it will start improving your life immediately. So, if you're ready to feel more confident, unbelievably safe, and wonderfully independent, stick with us until the very end. Your body will thank you, I promise. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our life-changing videos. Your support means the world to me. And if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading these valuable lessons by giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your loved ones. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make even better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Why do we fall? What are the common and often invisible causes? Why do we fall? It's a question that's not just about physical accidents, but one that digs deep into the layers of what happens to our bodies as we gracefully age. Most people, especially as they get older, sadly believe that falling is simply a natural part of aging. They see it as an unfortunate sign, a disheartening message from the body that its time has come, that the body is growing weaker with each passing year. But here's the shocking truth that many may not realize: the vast majority of falls are completely avoidable. And the reason they happen isn't necessarily because we're aging, but because of invisible factors that go unnoticed until it's tragically too late. If we could only identify those hidden causes and take immediate action to fix them, so many falls could be prevented. Let's start with something that many people don't want to talk about: muscle loss. After age 60, muscle mass naturally begins to decrease, and the strength that once held us steady and strong starts to fade like the setting sun. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's the very foundation of much of the risk we face. Our legs, once the powerhouse of our body, begin to lose their tone and strength. The stabilizing muscles that help keep us balanced and upright, even when we're walking on uneven surfaces, also weaken, leaving us incredibly vulnerable to imbalance. And with imbalance, the risk of falling becomes almost inevitable. But it doesn't stop there. There's also something much more subtle, something we might not even notice happening in our own bodies: a shift in our center of gravity. As we age, the body's natural posture changes. Our heads jut forward, our shoulders round, and our spines start to curve. This seemingly insignificant shift in posture is actually one of the most critical reasons why we fall. As the weight of our body shifts forward, it throws off the delicate balance we've relied on all our lives. Instead of walking with a straight, aligned posture, we begin leaning forward, putting more weight on our feet, and making ourselves much more susceptible to tripping or losing our footing at the slightest misstep. What's even more troubling is the paralyzing fear of falling that so many older adults experience. I can tell you from personal experience, and I have seen it time and time again, this fear doesn't help us. It actually makes things worse. When you're terrified of falling, your brain sends signals that cause you to stiffen up. You start walking like you're trying to avoid the ground entirely, taking short, stiff steps, barely swinging your arms, and moving like you're walking on eggshells. This tension, this unnatural caution, does not protect you. On the contrary, it makes your movements more erratic and unstable, making it even easier for you to fall. You're fighting your own body's natural rhythms, and that only increases the risk. And of course, we can't overlook the decline in vision and reflexes that sadly comes with aging. It's one of those things that often gets swept under the rug, but it's a critical factor. When your vision starts to blur or you can't react quickly enough to regain your balance, your ability to move safely diminishes drastically. How many times have we walked into a room and found ourselves tripping over an unseen rug or stumbling because of a misstep we couldn't anticipate? It's not just about seeing less. It's about seeing quickly enough to act in time. Pair this with the wrong shoes, improperly used walking aids, or an environment filled with obstacles, and it becomes a perfect storm for a fall. But here's the most important takeaway, the undeniable truth that we all need to grasp: age itself doesn't cause us to fall. It's how our bodies respond to age that truly matters. And the incredible thing is, we can change that response. We have the power to make adjustments, to strengthen those crucial muscles, improve our posture, overcome that debilitating fear, and protect our precious vision and reflexes. Think of walking like driving a car on a slick road. If you know how to adjust your movements, keep your balance, and avoid those sudden jerks or hard stops, you can get through the journey safely. The same applies to our bodies. If we approach aging with the right tools and knowledge, we can move through life with strength, grace, and most importantly, safety. Mrs. Eleanor Rodriguez, at the vibrant age of 77, had lived a life brimming with independence, incredible resilience, and undeniable vitality for over 3 glorious decades. Her cozy little apartment had been her sanctuary, a place she lovingly tended to with unwavering care, walking each morning to nurture her beloved plants as if each leaf held a precious story. She regularly visited her cherished friends at the senior center, where she was renowned for her infectious laughter and boundless kindness. There was a beautiful rhythm to her life, one that she had carefully crafted over the years. It was a life overflowing with purpose, deep connection, and joyful activity. But that all shattered on one seemingly ordinary morning. I can only imagine the sheer shock, the creeping dread, and the overwhelming despair that must have engulfed her as she went about her familiar daily routine. It started just like any other day. She woke up, made her way to the kitchen for a refreshing glass of water, her familiar movements ingrained in her very bones. But in that single, fateful instant, a sudden twist, a quick motion to reach for the kettle, and she slipped. The fall was brutal, one that would leave more than just painful bruises. Her wrist fractured with a sickening crack, and her hip slammed onto the unforgiving floor with a terrifying thud. The agonizing pain, the paralyzing shock, the utter helplessness those moments must have stretched into an unbearable eternity. It was her kind neighbors who rushed to her side, their immediate concern a tiny flicker of hope in the surrounding chaos. 2 long weeks in the sterile hospital followed, but the true challenge, the real battle, came afterward. It wasn't just about the physical healing. It was about the deep emotional scars that were left behind. It was the insidious fear, the paralyzing fear of slipping again, of falling, of losing that precious autonomy, of becoming fragile. I can only imagine how it must have felt for her to walk again, not with the confident stride of someone who once moved with purpose, but with the agonizing hesitance of someone who felt utterly unsure and deeply vulnerable. Mrs. Rodriguez started to feel like a mere shell of the vibrant woman she once was. Her once eager steps became slow, overly cautious, and filled with gnawing doubt. She stopped leaving her beloved home, and with each passing day, she became more withdrawn, more isolated. Heartfelt invitations from her loving children and dear friends went unanswered, not because she didn't care, but because a suffocating fear had become her constant, unwelcome companion. The woman who had once been the radiant heart of every room was now a mere shadow of her former self, gripped by profound insecurity and a crushing sense of dependence. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment one below to let me know that you are still here with me. Her children, in their boundless love and deep concern, tried desperately to encourage her, urging her to exercise, to somehow magically regain her lost confidence. But how could she? How could anyone simply push through the overwhelming weight of trauma that had lodged itself so deeply in her spirit? No amount of well-meaning encouragement could override the deep-rooted fear that now dictated her every single move. It was during this incredibly dark and isolating time that a glimmer of hope finally arrived in the form of Sarah Miller, a compassionate physical therapist who would ultimately change everything. From the very moment Sarah walked into Mrs. Rodriguez's life, there was a palpable shift in the atmosphere. Sarah didn't just see a frail woman with a broken wrist and hip. She saw a resilient woman whose spirit was fractured by fear. In those early, gentle sessions, Sarah observed with deep compassion that the core issue wasn't just physical. It was profoundly emotional. Mrs. Rodriguez's body wasn't inherently weak. It was tragically disconnected. She was technically walking, but not with awareness, not with confidence, certainly not with control. She had sadly lost the very art of walking, something that had once been as natural as breathing. With Sarah's patient and gentle guidance, the crucial re-education began. The very first steps were small, almost imperceptible steps, short, firm steps, consciously landing heel first, deliberately planting each foot with unwavering intention. It wasn't about forcing strength. It was about patiently teaching her body how to move with renewed awareness and control. Posture correction, gentle balance exercises, and a crucial focus on keeping her gaze forward, not tragically fixed on the ground, were all vital parts of the healing process. Slowly, steadily, they worked together, meticulously rebuilding not just her fragile body, but also her shattered confidence. It wasn't a quick fix. It wasn't easy, not by any means, but it was undeniably worth every single ounce of effort. And then, something truly incredible happened. Over the next 2 months, Mrs. Rodriguez took those tentative steps, one shaky step after another, until she was bravely walking down the hallway of her apartment building again, with newfound purpose and a visible sense of pride. The woman who had once feared every single step now embraced each one with growing strength, her independence miraculously rediscovered through focused technique and unwavering care. In just 3 short months, she was confidently walking down the stairs to buy her favorite bread from the local bakery, a simple task that had once felt utterly insurmountable. And now, today, she walks through the town square with the same grace and unwavering confidence she possessed before that fateful, life-altering fall. The paralyzing fear no longer holds her captive because she knows, deep down, she knows how to walk safely. I find myself incredibly inspired by her remarkable strength, by her unwavering courage. Mrs. Rodriguez's story serves as a powerful reminder to us all that recovery doesn't always come in the form of brute strength alone. Sometimes, it's about learning, or in her case, relearning, how to walk again, both physically and emotionally. It's about patiently regaining control of our lives, piece by precious piece. With the right guidance, unwavering patience, and abundant love, it's a journey that begins with the smallest of steps but ultimately leads to a whole new world of incredible possibilities. She often says with a knowing smile, "It wasn't just strength. It was the technique that saved me. It was relearning how to walk." And I couldn't agree more. What a profoundly powerful lesson that is for each and every one of us. Sometimes, the biggest obstacles in life are not the ones we face physically, but the ones we bravely face within. But with the right support, a positive mindset, and a willingness to take that first courageous step, true transformation is absolutely possible. Mrs. Rodriguez's story isn't just about recovery. It's about triumphantly reclaiming life, and that, my friends, is something we can all aspire to. So now, let us all take a step, just as she did, a step toward healing, toward balance, and toward a life lived with intention and unwavering strength. It starts with just one small step, but it can lead to something truly extraordinary. And I wholeheartedly believe that together, we can walk this journey with the same incredible courage that Mrs. Rodriguez so beautifully showed us. Valuable lesson. The powerful lesson we can learn from Mrs. Rodriguez's story is that even after a setback, regaining independence and confidence is absolutely possible with the right approach and mindset. It's not just about physical strength, but also about learning and applying the correct techniques and overcoming the fear that can hold us back. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What resonated with you the most in this video? What's one thing you learned today that you're excited to try in your own life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful and inspiring, please give it a thumbs up. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this video? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more empowering tips and stories that will help you live your life to the fullest. Your support means everything to me, and I'm so grateful to have you as part of this wonderful community. Thank you so much for watching.